Bonjour, soyez les bienvenus au 12e conseil le plus effectif pour votre examen, intitulé Les pronoms réfléchis et réciproques. You're welcome to the 12th Surest tip to wow yourself and your French examiner, and it is titled Pronoms réfléchis et réciproques. Pronoms réfléchis et pronoms réciproques. All right, quickly before we dive in, I would like you to consider these questions on the script. We have 4 of them, and then we are coming back with the solutions by the end of the session. All right, when we talk about les pronoms réfléchis et réciproques, okay, these are pronouns that are used with pronominal verbs. Okay, and when we talk about pronominal verbs, they are talking about verbs in which the doer of the action, all right, that is the subject, okay, le sujet, okay, is the same as the object, is at the same time the object to the receiver of the action, c'est-à-dire le sujet est aussi en même temps l'objet, okay, divers. D'accord, so these pronouns, we divide them into 2, all right? We have the reflexive and the reciprocal, which we call réciproque in French. So, les pronoms réfléchis, reflexive, are used when the subject, as I said earlier, all right, is both the subject and the receiver of the action. So, either direct or indirect, okay? And we have explained earlier in previous videos that when we talk about indirect objects, that's an object that has the interference of a preposition a, okay, preposition a, and de in between the verb and the object, okay? For example, téléphoner à, donner à, to give to, or to telephone to, okay? That's how French will say. French will not say telephone somebody. French will say it as telephone to somebody, right? Or phone to somebody. So, and that makes the somebody or the person you are phoning to, that makes that person the object. So, and that of reciprocal, les réciproques, ou bien les pronoms réciproques dans ce cas, in this case, okay, they are used when subject participants perform an action, okay, on each other or one another, right? For example, let's try a bit to simplify this thing between reciprocal and reflexive. When we talk about reflexive, that means that, for example, somebody is talking about something that he is doing on himself. For example, I love myself. Okay, I'm the subject and also the receiver. Okay, I love myself. I'm performing that action to love on myself. Now, for reciprocal, reciprocal is used in plural sense. For example, maybe we have 2 people, they are fighting each other, all right? They are beating each other. So one person beats the other, and that one too beats that first person. So they are doing it interchangeably. That's when we discuss or when we talk about the sense of reciprocal, but that of reflexive. And it is important to know that reflexive is not only singular. Reflexive can come in the sense of plural. For example, when we have many people who love themselves, all right? For example, we love ourselves. That is reflexive. That means that individually, okay, each one loves himself, right? So we love ourselves. But when it becomes reciprocal, we love each other. That's when we have 2 people, all right? So I love you, you love me. We love each other. But when they are more than 2, we can't say each other again. We say one another, all right? Once it is 3 or more. So we love one another. That means that we have like 3 or more people, all right? So, and they are sharing the love. This one loves me, okay? I love her too, okay? And that one too, the third person too loves me, like that. So interchangeably, that is reciprocal, all right? Good, but reflexive, we are doing that, or the doer of the action is doing that directly on himself or herself, right? So, and we have it there that pronoun reciprocal are only applicable in plural sense, okay? For example, when we talk about reciprocal, we, of course, you know that we said earlier that they have to interchange the action. So that means that you cannot say you are interchanging the action when you are performing it on yourself, right? So you are just one person, that is singular. So, but reciprocal pronoun, they are applicable in plural sense, okay, at the level of nous, vous, il, or elle, because they are either two or more. So reciprocal is applicable there. Now we have the pronoun réfléchis. We have me, te, ce, nous, vous, ce. Okay, we are going to go deeper in the next slide. Then that of pronoun réciproques, or we explained, we have nous, vous, and ce. Right, good. And let's go further. Let's go further. We have a table there for you of the position of reflexive pronouns. All right, la place des pronoms réfléchis. Et ici, on a pronom sujet. You need to know that the first quota here is just the subject, okay? The one that is performing the action, the doer of the action, d'accord? C'est-à-dire celui qui fait l'action. So we have je, tu, il, elle, on, right? That's the third person singular, right? Troisième personne singulier. Then we have nous, vous, il, elle. Okay, good. Then where we are going now is the pronom réfléchi. Okay, that is saying that for me to say that I love myself, for example, the verb aimer is to love or to like. All right, aimer. So if I want to say I love myself, you know that I is the subject. Okay, that is je. So I will say je. All right, then love myself. That myself has to come. Me here will be myself, and it has to come before the verb. All right. So and we say as je m'aime. You cannot say je m'aime if you remember, because of the rule, the voa rule. So you have to remove the e, right, and put apostrophe or elide. So je m'aime, I love myself. Now you love yourself, you just go to the second line, tu t'aimes, right? Okay, we are getting there. Or let's use verb laver as we have on the screen there. We have laver. Laver means to wash, right? But if we are talking about it in the sense of to take one's bath, all right, instead of to wash, then it will be I wash myself, or rather I take my bath, because you are washing, you are not washing a car, you are washing yourself, all right? So you take your bath will mean literally you are washing yourself. So it will be tu te laves, right? Then for the third person singular, il se lave, right? He washes himself. But in standard English, we'll say that he takes his bath. All right, good. So, and the other one too, elle se lave, all right? She is washing herself, right? Or she's taking a bath, or she takes a bath, okay? On se lave, that's indefinite. Then, nous nous lavons, we take our bath, literally, it means we wash ourselves. Good. Then, vous vous lavez, right? You wash yourself, but in standard English, you take your bath. Okay, then for the plural, the third person plural, we have il se lave, right? Then elle se lave. Okay, I need you to just master this pronom réfléchi. That's the line here. Then for the réciproque, we told you, or I said earlier, that you just use the nous, vous, il, elle for reciprocal because they are more than one. So once we have two or more, then we talk about reciprocal in that manner. And that has to have a sense of they sharing the action on the participant, not on themselves directly. That's for the reciprocal. All right. Then it is important to note again, all right, for emphasis sake, that for reciprocal, it is at the level of nous, vous, il, elle. So we can say that nous is both for reflexive, all right, and reciprocal. Vous is both as well for reflexive and reciprocal. Then the ce is both, can be used for both reflexive and reciprocal. D'accord? So let's take some examples now. For the first one, we have il s'aime, he likes or he loves himself. All right, il s'aime, he likes or he loves himself. Okay, so that means that here it is reflexive. Why? Because he's the one that is performing the action of love, to love, and he's doing it on himself. So he likes himself. He likes himself. Himself. Now, himself alone, for example, you can say that you can use soir, all right, for self, or rather, let's use this example, myself, moi-même, all right, myself. But if I want to use this example, I cannot say I love myself as j'aime moi-même. No, that will not be standard French. You say je m'aime because you just bring it backward. That is purely, basically, the reflexive form. All right, good. So je m'aime, I love myself, not j'aime moi-même. No, that will be pidgin. Right. Okay, yeah, that will be using local parlance to say that. So il s'aime, he likes or loves himself. Then the second one, il s'aime. Now for plural, you can see that that one is se termine on ent. So it ends with nt or ent. All right. So and that means it's plural. So we have the like or they love themselves. That's reflexive. Now I want you to really pay attention, or we want to use this to make the difference between, or explain the difference between reflexive and reciprocal. All right. So the first or the first line under the second example there, we have il s'aime. That can, if we are using it in the sense of reflexive, then we are saying that individually the participants in that action, right, or in that sentence, the participants are performing the action of love on each one, right? Each of them. For example, we have two people, maybe a man and a woman, right? So if we say that il s'aime in that manner for reflexive, that means that the man loves himself and the woman loves herself. You see that? That is reflexive. They are reflecting it individually, right? But because they are two, that's why they're saying they love themselves, right? And aimer is the same thing as like and love in French. And for the second sentence there, we are the like or love each other. That's reciprocal. That means that the man loves the woman and the woman loves the man. So they are doing it interchangeably now. Not that they are performing it individually on themselves, no, but they are doing it on the other participants. That is a reciprocal, right? So the man loves the woman loves the man. Good. Then the third one, okay, we can still use il s'aime as well, okay, for reciprocal in the sense of one another. They love one another. That is when they are more than two. We are no longer talking about the man and the woman now. We can say that, oh, those three people love one another. That means that, oh, one person, the first person loves the second person loves the third person, then the third person too loves the first person, like that, interchangeably. So we can use it that il s'aime has the love or the like one another. Good. And we have the third one that nous téléphoneront. We phone each other or one another, depending on the number of people in that proposition, right? In that statement. So, for example, here, nous téléphonons, right? We phone each other, and remember that téléphoner is it's a verb that is indirect. It takes indirect object, right? Okay. And why do we say that? Because in French we say téléphoner à. Okay. And you remember when we started this session, we said that we can use reflexive, reciprocal for either direct object or indirect object. So here now, if we are phoning each other or one another, okay, and the verb is téléphoner, it does not matter, all right, because we perform the action on one another or each other, all right. We are indirect objects there, but it does not make any difference. So nous téléphonons, we phone each other or one another. So we can use reflexive, reciprocal. We can use it for both direct and indirect objects. Now let's go back to the questions that were projected earlier. We have the first one here. On se verra demain, right? We'll see tomorrow. And don't forget that we cannot say on verra demain. No, here we are using it in the sense of indefinite, and we did not use or we can say that on is no, because on is indefinite, that cannot talk about gender. It is not specific about number. It is not specific about gender. So That's why they say that on is indefinite. So on se verra demain, all right? We'll see tomorrow. Good. Then or we'll see one another, each other tomorrow. Okay. Then the second one, ils se battent tous les jours. All right. They fight each other every day, or they fight one another every day, depending on the number of participants there. So ils se battent. Now you cannot speak option A. You can say il like il. Why? Because that the verb there is plural, nt, it ends with nt. So ils se battent tous les jours. Then we have the third sentence here. Nous nous voyons dans le miroir. Okay, nous nous voyons dans le miroir. So we see ourselves in the mirror, right? And it can also mean we see each other in the mirror. That means that you and I see you in the mirror, you also see me in the mirror. So it has the same sense. So nous voyons, you cannot say that nous-mêmes, well, it doesn't make sense. So we see ourselves or we see each other, nous nous voyons. Okay, good. So then we have the third one here, les femmes. Okay, les femmes se téléphoneront ce soir. Les femmes se téléphoneront ce soir. The women will phone each other this afternoon. That's if there are two, and if there are more, the women will phone one another this evening. All right, either this evening or this afternoon. So ce soir. Good. And you can see that les femmes se téléphoneront. All right. So, and that is the plural as we stated. So you can just try to go back and recap that. So we'll see you in the next session. If you have not subscribed, subscribe, like, and feel free to share the link. Merci beaucoup. On se verra. Au revoir.